Yeah, empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my.
Listen, listen, listen. Man, it is Hot Topic Tuesday.
Yes, yes, and yes.
And I'm mad because I've been trying to put this ish together since yesterday. And this is Snack at the Top. I am Lacey,
I am Monica.
and we got some ish going on up in him in our town. And what is we gonna do about it?
Being put on the map in the wrong way.
Ish done hit the fan. I am gonna give y'all some time to jump on this feed because I want to hear what people have to say because I am curious. Everybody done seen it. Y'all see the title, and I want to know where y'all head is at. Because yes, we sit back and we watch this stuff on TV in other states, but the ish done hit the fan in our town. So I just want to see what's going on. That's what I want to know. And
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of mad that I don't go to work till Sunday.
Why?
Because I'm nosy.
You could be nosy during the day.
No, I wanna I wanna know what's going on. I wanna know what's going on. That's what I mean. So y'all, if y'all ain't paying attention, the topic is the Tyler PD done edited their video footage and the community wants answers. I'm a community. She's a community. I want to know what the hell is going on with why y'all delivered this less than a penny worth of footage.
Because they trying.
This my thing. If you think that your actions are justified, then you should not have had to edit your film.
That part right there.
You should not have had to edit your film.
But they should have known by editing that was going to raise more questions.
Yeah, when you edit your film, then you know at some point your actions were wrong.
Because the first question is going to be, where's the unedited
Where's the
video?
And the sad part is like your film don't even matter because two other films are already out before y'all even edited y'all stuff.
Exactly. One is from one angle and the other is from another angle.
Yes.
And you put those two together and you have the entire encounter.
Yes. So y'all editing y'all video did absolutely nothing. Actually,
Zero.
it made it look bad on you.
I mean, the whole thing made it look bad.
Yeah.
The entire interaction looked bad.
Yeah, it made it look bad on you. Yeah, so
and then the fact that the whole time she's telling them that she's pregnant, I'm pregnant. You're on her stomach, then you throw her on her stomach, and then you get on her back. That made it look even worse.
Yes, and yes, I agree. So I have the advantage of knowing this young lady. Okay, I know this young lady, and she's always been a polite young lady. No, she's not perfect, but this is not what this is about. It's about the wrongdoings that has occurred that they did to her in the process of whatever they was getting her for. So, y'all, let's get into this. But like I said, I know this young lady, and she's always been polite, always been mannerable. the actions that I have seen have always been warranted. So I tried to put my banners together as fast and as efficient as I could. So let me tell you something. If it's misspelled, mind your business. That's all I got to say. Oh, I dropped my light down there. I didn't pick it up. Y'all ignore my light because
It's actually, I mean, if there was put the cover on there, it would actually do some justice because it's lighting it up back there.
Okay, well then y'all just ignore it because
we'll just have to scoot together because it's so it doesn't shine.
Yeah, so let's get into this. Okay, so the young lady,
Brianna,
yeah, the young lady that is in question is this young lady right here, Brianna Irwin. Okay, as you guys see, that is the damage that was done to her eye
when he punched her.
When he punched her in her face. Okay, now this is my thing with that punch. Okay, you got one guy that clearly he's not aggressive. He's not an aggressive officer. So I will give him 2 thumbs up for that. The first officer that already had her semi-subdued. He's not an aggressive officer, but he could not subdue her on his own. That was clear. I get it. But he didn't go beat her ass either. But here come Captain Saberhole, and he beats her ass.
And the whole time, she is yelling, call the police, call the police, call the police. Get off of me. I am pregnant. Because they had her on the ground, on her stomach. And then when Captain Saberhole came in, he got on her back.
Yeah.
Which I feel that's the whole reason she was resisting the way she was. Yes, she was resisting. She was wrong for that. But the way they were handling her.
But if you look at her resistance, if you've seen the video, and I'm so mad at myself because I'm not tech savvy, and it is really, really, really hurting me and my page. But if you guys saw the video, the first officer, yes, she was resisting, but not physical resistance. She wasn't physically resisting. You know what I'm saying? She just wouldn't comply with what he was trying to get her to do. She didn't want to be on her stomach. She's pregnant.
Right.
And you can see her stomach.
And she was telling him that. So maybe, I mean, all we can do is say if, because we don't know what would have happened because there was a different outcome. But there were a lot of things that could have gone differently.
Yes.
That there were a lot of things they could have handled differently, but we do know they could have done the things that they did, especially the second officer. They could have done way better than they did.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree 100%. If you guys are just now hopping on this feed, I urge you guys to go ahead and take a second out of your day to like, subscribe, and comment to my channel. No, we are not the best, but we are still doing the best that we can do. We are doing the best that we can do with what we have available to us. Okay, so with these feeds that I have right here, the Tyler PD has opened a whole can of what the F in the Black community. You got some white people, they are concerned. They are. But the Black community is the most concerned because it is happening to us, within us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's concerning. If our officers that we pay, mind you, we are paying these people. We are paying you to not beat on us, to care about the life that is being carried within us. So if they don't care about that, then we in trouble. And I grew up in this town, born and raised, so I have seen Tyler PD at their worst in my livelihood of life. Now, they could have been worse than that before I was born, but what I've seen, I have seen them at their worst. And we don't want to go back to that. Hell, they shouldn't want to go back to that because our mentality and our strengths are not like it was back then. We are way stronger,
I agree with
way knowledgeable,
that. I agree with that.
and we're non-tolerable than we were back then.
Yeah.
So I
We
think
are.
it would be worse for their safety if they cut out this nonsense that they're doing to the community.
Wait, and before we have those that hop on and say, "Well, she wasn't worried about being pregnant," yes, she was.
She was.
She was.
I've had to comment to a lot of people like clearly you don't listen and you clearly don't pay attention. That she said that numerous times from the very beginning that
Too
she
many
was
to
pregnant.
count. Too many to count.
That was your cue to you can do what you do, just don't be rough with me because I'm pregnant.
Yeah. She said that too many times to count.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. So with that, they released this body footage, and on this body footage now, I cannot. I tried so hard, okay, but all I have is just images, okay. That is the officer, Captain Saberho, that came in and subdued her. I get it, but did you have to sit on her while she's yelling to you that she is pregnant? So you are sitting on the back of a pregnant woman who has a visible stomach that is pregnant. You're sitting on her
Unnecessary.
to subdue her.
Unnecessary.
And she's steady. She's not telling you anymore. She's crying out to you. Now she's scared.
So what happens if she has a miscarriage?
Right.
That's my question. If she loses her baby because of this unnecessary roughness, what happens? And before anybody said, before anybody goes, well, she has other children, that's besides the fact.
Right. Right. So the next image. Now, y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me. Okay, but the next image it shows this is the beginning footage that they show that they so-called wanted to release to the public. Just showing with her hand on his gun, and in the video, in the full video, you do they said she can hear us.
Okay.
You do hear him say,
Oh, yeah.
take your hand off my gun. So you do hear that. But if you felt like your actions were warranted, why did you not release the full footage? Because this footage right here shows from the officer, the first officer, that's his camera footage that we're looking at, not the officer that was sitting on her back. So you're missing a lot of, where's the rest of it?
I want to see it all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just gonna show that, show the unedited footage.
Yeah, show
We already
everything.
have two camera views. We already have two camera views. Show your unedited view, because their camera view is unedited. So show yours.
Yeah, the video that they released, it literally only lasts at the max 5 seconds. As long as you see this video right here with her hand on his, she got her hand back and he says, take your hand off my weapon, and the gun goes off, that's the end of the footage.
But that can be questioned, because how do you know?
Because from the other camera view, his hand was back there too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It can be questioned because they have her hands. So her hands are going to be back there. So that can be questioned many times over.
Yes. And why was your weapon not secured?
That part right there. So internal review, and okay, come on now. You should be, man, please. It's too many questions that can be asked about that. Too many questions.
Like I said,
they should be fired.
The community, that would be me.
They shouldn't even be suspended. They should be fired.
Yeah. Well, at least that one officer for sure.
No, both of them.
The one. Now the other officer.
When are the police going to start policing the police? That's my question.
Right.
Because not all police. I'll be the first to say not all police officers are bad, but the ones that are bad are making the good ones look bad. So when are the police going to start policing the police?
Well, I will say this. I will say this. With the first officer, and the only reason why I don't see him at fault is because he didn't do that.
That's why he's at fault.
Now
No,
he's at
he's at
fault if
fault
he did
because
his
he didn't correct his partner.
if he did his report. Well, if he did his report and he falsified his report
He's going to. He's
to
going to.
satisfy the Tyler PD, and that is the main objective
He's
right there.
going to.
What did
His
both of their
report is
reports
going
say?
his report is going to reflect what his partner's report is going to say.
'Cause-
They're going to match.
and my thing is this: does your report match not only your camera footage, but does it reflect the cameras that were watching?
No, they're not going to.
Because right now I kind of have a feeling that your report is going to reflect what you want it to reflect.
Exactly. That's what it's going
and what
to reflect.
the PD wants it to reflect.
That's what it's going to reflect.
And I say that because when the call for action of, I want to say it was Texan 24 News, TXAN 24 News. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are the ones that sent out, hey, where's the footage? They requested the footage. We want some answers, basically. And this is the footage that you came up with.
And that's how you know that report is not going to be.
So you're already trying to taint her.
Exactly.
And you're already trying to justify your actions. But if you already felt like your actions were justified, this never should have been altered. The whole video footage from your standpoint of what you saw, from what you experienced, should have just been showed.
And
because we've already seen it all from two different angles.
Unedited.
We just didn't see it in 3D up close front from your camera.
And the first angles, the first videos that we saw were unedited. They were raw and uncut.
Yes.
So their reports are going to reflect what the department wants it to reflect.
Yes.
That's how you know.
Now, I work downtown at Smith. Well, I don't work for Smith County, but I work within. And they drop these people off messed up all the time.
And how do you think they get messed up?
Yeah. They drop these people off messed up all the time. I really, really hope that she seeks a lawyer, because regardless of what she did at the time that he punched her, she was not a threat and she didn't deserve the punch.
She was already
subdued.
She was already restrained.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Dave. They said it doesn't matter.
We already know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all, all I got to say is that it ain't what it do. But assumingly the identified woman is Brianna Irwin. Okay. That is the assuming identification of the woman.
And you
that they're saying did
and
this.
Because you've had dealings with her, you
and
can verify.
When I saw this woman's picture, I was like, I know this woman.
And she is pregnant.
And if she telling you she's pregnant, she more than likely is. Okay. Now, what they are charging this woman with, outstanding warrants for aggravated assault, it looked like they piled on these charges. Okay. Outstanding warrant of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, that's already a previous charge that she probably already had been to jail for and got out for. 2 counts of aggravated assault of public servant. I didn't see her assault anybody, did you? Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Smith County is crooked.
Possession of controlled substance. Okay, that I didn't see them take anything out of her pockets, but at the same time, it could have been in her bag that was in the middle of the street. Okay, so I'm not gonna say that she didn't have it. Resisting arrest with a deadly weapon. I didn't see no deadly weapon.
Maybe it was her purse.
I mean, if it's in her purse, she's not resisting with that. That's in her possession, and she could be carrying it around for protection. Okay, evading arrest / detention. Harassment of a public servant. Did you see her harass them?
They pull at straws. They pull at any
I
straw they
mean,
can find.
they pulling stuff out the ass, definitely. Theft related charges that remain under investigation.
That's old.
So don't even put that if you can't even clarify if she did that.
What they do is they go back and pull up old stuff to make it look, when they arrest you for stuff like this, they go back and pull up old charges to make it look better.
Yeah.
On their behalf.
They gave her a whole list of stuff. Now, those theft charges probably not even related to this incident.
So just say if she has 8 or 10 charges.
Even her aggravated assault charges might not even be related to this incident.
And it probably isn't. If she has 8 or 10 charges, probably about five or six of those charges aren't even related to this.
Right. Because that outstanding warrant, that's probably why y'all was there. Y'all probably went there because she had a warrant. You knew where she hung out at. You saw her. Okay, you're going to arrest her. Okay, I get it. But all this other stuff, I didn't see her assaulting you. You can say she did that. I didn't see that. And I saw it from 2 different camera views, and I didn't see that. And you know you're doing wrong when a white female is telling you, hey, don't you think that's excessive? Like, she's pregnant. You're going to make her lose a baby? And then but you're being aggressive. Captain Saberho is being aggressive towards this white female. But you had a whole white male walk up feet away from you and you said absolutely nothing to him. You didn't tell him to get back. You didn't tell him to shut up. You didn't tell him not to interfere or none of that. You didn't see him as a threat at all.
This is a picture they posted.
Okay.
It's almost
but
like
both hands is there.
But it's almost like they're placing her hand there.
Both hands is there.
But look, they have her hands restrained. So how can she even?
Well, I think that when she reached back there, I don't think she was intentionally reaching for the gun.
No, she wasn't.
You get what I'm saying?
Because
her hand could have just been back there trying to push him back, and his gun is there.
And he discharged his weapon.
You get what I'm saying? But from the video, it's hard to tell if she's the one that actually did it.
You know, an easy fix for that is a GSR.
Yeah. Check her fingerprints on that. See if she got that gunpowder on there.
I mean, it's
too late for that.
Yeah.
Because they make them shower when they get to jail.
Even if they did, she'd have a little gunshot residue on her hand,
Yeah.
but most of it would be on his if he discharged his own weapon.
Yeah. So I don't know. What I do know is that some wrong was done to this young lady.
A lot of wrong was done to this young lady.
Yeah. And the community wants some answers. Want some answers because it didn't have to be. There's a lot that could have been done that could have prevented some of the actions that happened on yesterday, in my opinion. Okay, so if y'all got anything to say on this topic, hey, I am opening the floor to anybody that want to comment what they think about what happened, because a lot of us are from this area. If you no longer live here or you have kids that still live here, you know, there's a lot to be worried about here. In my opinion, I'm not a professional, but I am a concerned citizen, and there's a lot that to worry about. But I'm gonna move right along. So, as you guys see that my next topic is on Rodney Hinton Jr. Okay, so this young man, his 18-year-old son was shot and killed by a sheriff.
A sheriff.
And nobody's giving the headline story on what occurred that day that led up to this young man being shot and killed. But they are just saying that, he was shot and killed for theft of a motor vehicle. That doesn't warrant shooting and killing somebody unless he used that vehicle as a weapon to kill you with it or to try to harm you with it.
That sounds like some
You
New
know.
Jersey Drive stuff.
So what actually happened that led to the shooting of that young man? Where is the footage, if there is any?
I was about to say, do they have footage?
I don't know, but shouldn't it be all officers should be wearing
But
that?
you know, I read the article and they said something about maybe that he had brandished a weapon, but I don't know if they found the
I
weapon.
mean, you're gonna always find a weapon out the ass, whether you find it under the car and then say he threatened your life with it.
But even
You know,
if
he didn't have the weapon on him
if
at the
I
time
read-
that you shot him.
if I read correctly, if he had the weapon, it wasn't even loaded.
Well, he didn't have time to load it.
But I don't even think there was an intent to load it. There were no. I don't even think that
They probably found their weapon after they had unalived him.
Let me see if I can find it.
You know, and then they say, well, there was a weapon. Yeah, their weapon didn't exist until after he was unalived already. You know,
That's what these scary cops.
These-
you know, they shooting first and asking questions later.
I mean, a lot of it's not about being scared. You know, a lot of it is just because they can and because they're getting away with it. Okay, so Rodney Hinton is a 38-year-old male that he's been charged with using his motor vehicle to hit and kill Sheriff Deputy Larry Henderson. Now, Rodney Hinton has filed a $25 million lawsuit against this department because of citing excessive use of force against his son. The complaint claims that the Hamilton County Justice Center violated Hinton's due process rights, used excessive force, conspired to interfere with his civil rights, and falsely imprisoned him. Okay? I don't know how. Now, that last one, I don't know how he's falsely imprisoned if he hit the man and killed him, unless he can clearly prove that it was an accident. But they're saying that it was intentional. The lawsuit states that Hinton was subjected to excessive force that resulted in visible injuries that you can see. And the officers, and I did manage to put this photo up here, okay, where these officers, they lined up behind this young man, okay, and they had the clear intent to intimidate him while he was being arraigned.
They didn't scare him
at all. They didn't scare this man at all. Now, you got a lot of people, they're upset with this man because he's getting money put on his books and they want it to be stopped. First of all,
whoa, you can't stop people from putting money on this man's books.
First of all, a lot of people in jail, they will praise him. I won't lie about it. Because they're sick of the wrongdoings of cops and they're getting away with those wrongdoings.
Yeah, they're getting a slap on the wrist. Or some of them are even getting a pat on the back.
Yeah. So,
you got another one.
So he will be praised for it. And I will say that is the truth.
And you know
but
what?
At the same time,
that started with that. I can't remember the guy, but the police officer that shot that guy in that field, and he planted that gun on him because he threw the gun down, and then he high-fived his partner. That happened some years ago. That's when all of that started.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all ain't seen that movie, what's it? Is it a movie called Dear White People?
I think so.
I mean, it's not directly at just white people or the white counterparts. That saying white people sounds so rude. The white counterparts of us. For those of you that are white and or black and or any other culture that doesn't seem to understand the severity of what's going on until it hits you directly, maybe y'all need to go back and watch that movie, A Time to Kill. Because that's what I see when I see this. You take in that movie A Time to Kill, you got Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock, and you got Samuel L. Jackson starring in that movie. And you got that innocent little black girl walking from the grocery store by herself, and three white males. Was it three? Three white males, definitely two, hop out the truck and they hit her in the head with a jar with a can of beer.
Hold on just a second. This is a white guy. He's the caption to what he's saying. I just put this in, and this is what this caption is
associated with this.
Yes, okay. He said Rodney Hinton didn't snap. He answered. The cops killed his son and walked, like they always do. Over 1,300 killed by police in 2024, 98% unpunished. He didn't shoot a man. He hit back at the gang that made justice a graveyard.
And I agree. That leads to that A Time to Kill. The system got mad at Samuel Jackson for reacting. Honey, y'all damaged that little girl. What was she, like 9 or 10 years old or so? 11? That was walking home from the grocery store, and those men jumped out the truck, tied her up, dragged her, roped her. You beat her. You raped her to the point to where that her body was severely damaged, to where that she couldn't even have kids anymore. So what do you expect parents to do when they already know that the justice system is going to fail them? What do you expect us to do? How, in that movie, it's very, very sad that in that movie, nobody could understand the severity of the crimes that those white males did to that black girl until Matthew McConaughey has to sit here and basically tell you to close your eyes and visualize it. You shouldn't even have to do that. You shouldn't even have to visualize that. And then say, what if it now picture her as a white girl? And y'all still was going to find these men not guilty because they're white. That's the crazy part. Anytime something like this happens, you should always place yourself in their shoes. And have that subconscious of, what would I do if that was me? How would I feel if that was me? Because contrary to beliefs, the news might not show you what you need to see, but this happens to white people too. It happens to white people too. I work at Smith County Jail. This happens to white people too, but that's not news. Sad to say, white people, y'all are not news. Stuff that happened to black people from white people is news. That's what gets them ratings. That's what adds fuel to the fire. So to sit back and not give a damn is just crazy to me. But then as soon as it happens to you, then you want to know why black people be like, that's what you get. No, it's not what you get. It's more like, it's sad that it got to this point that this is how you had to understand us. This is how you had to see, is to experience for yourself. Like, how would y'all feel if your son was shot and killed, 18 years old, by the police, and they not giving you any answers? And then out of the blue, they're pulling out the ass all the reasons that justify why they did what they did.
Check this out. It says security officer alleges he was terminated for defending Rodney Hinton against racist remarks made by a supervisor.
And that's another lawsuit.
A black security officer is speaking out after being fired for doing what many are calling the right thing. The officer says he overheard his supervisor using racist and offensive language while referring to Rodney Hinton. Out of concern for Hinton's safety, he made the decision to accompany him on the elevator. The act of protection ended up costing him his job. Now the situation is raising serious questions about racism in the workplace and the consequences black employees face for standing on principle. According to circulating reports, the officer did not confront or escalate the situation. He simply followed his instinct after hearing the kind of language no one should have to hear at work. He feared something might happen and decided not to ignore it. Despite keeping things professional and calm, he reportedly was terminated shortly after the incident. This is what happened. Hinton was being, I guess, transferred, and he was being escorted by 2 or 3 white officers into the elevator.
And they won't beat his ass in that elevator.
And he heard them talking about it, so he didn't say anything. He just followed them into the elevator and was just there. And shortly after, he was terminated.
Listen. When I
But that's crazy because he didn't say it. He said he didn't say anything on the elevator. He was just there in observance.
When I went to school for my criminal justice degree, okay, the first thing that they was talking about was basically the brotherhood of police officers and how that can be unsafe for officers that don't conform. And I was so headstrong. That's why I have the security belt, that where I can I have a gun holster. I got real cuffs. I got keys to those cuffs. I got the mace. I got everything. Okay. Because I was trying to be a police officer until I went through this degree. Now I did complete the degree, but it came with some challenges because 1 or 2 of my professors were retired officers. And man, let me tell you, I was butting some heads, received zeros, got bad grades, even got a failing grade because of it, and had to report it to the school. When you don't conform with these people's ways, your life is in danger. What's that little that police movie with Tyrese? Man, that's not just for entertainment, y'all. That is real. You got a lot of crooked people, and because they pass the background checks to get into the force, and that's why they're in there, is so that they can have this authority over people, so that they can legally do what they do. Man,
Ryan, his son, was unarmed, so he didn't have a gun.
So they wasn't justified in the shooting.
Right. It says Rodney Hinton Jr. is a 38-year-old father. On May 1st, 2024, Rodney's 18-year-old son was shot and killed by Cincinnati police officers after they claimed he was suspected of stealing a car. According to reports, Ryan Hinton was unarmed. Witnesses say he was running away when he was gunned down in broad daylight. The incident was captured on video, sparking outrage throughout the community. Scared. As most kids are. Most kids nowadays, all of them run away from the police. Whether they did it or not, they run because they're scared of what, especially people of color. Not just black, tan, even white. They run because they fear the police.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they had that footage of that young white man that got pulled over by police officers, and the police killed him. But that wasn't news because that was a white-on-white crime. You know, that's not news. That's why I said this happens to white people, too. There for them to sit back and assume
that it's just black.
That is just black.
You know, I watch cops. Well, it's not cops anymore, but I watch shows that deal with police officers and pulling people over. And there was one where the guy, he was the passenger, and simply because they got pulled over, it was an older white man. And because they got pulled over, he was the passenger. He got out and ran, and the police officer was like, "Why are you running?" Because we got pulled over, man. He's like, "I ran your name. You're good. You're good." He's like, "Why are you running?" He said, "I'm scared." And that's what he said. I'm scared. I'm scared.
But they teach you. They teach you when you go through the academy not to shoot. They're running. They're not a threat to you.
Yeah.
You are shooting them in the back. They are not a threat. That's the whole purpose and why you got a whole taser. Just taser their ass.
But now, now the excuse is I pulled the wrong weapon.
You can't keep saying you pulled the wrong weapon, just like the kid he videoed his death. He was a YouTuber, videoed his death. You done sent the police on a whole high speed chase. You riding around, no shirt on and none of that shit. And police chasing you everywhere, okay? So you set this up for them to chase you. Because you never thought you'd get killed. Okay? And you got out the car and you complied a little bit and you was live. But then you ran. But you didn't know they was gonna shoot you. But one cop, you shot him and unloaded your clip.
Oh, that's
in
excessive.
This young man.
That is
not knowing he was filming it all.
Oh wow.
And then you get beside the young man's car door, the passenger door or driver door or whatever, and you said something smart about his mama burying him or something, and then you shot 2 more times up close.
Wow.
And nothing happened to that officer.
Wow.
Nothing happened to that officer. That was pure fledged murder.
That couldn't have been me because I know my son. My son would have found him and killed him.
That's what I'm saying. So what happened? I do
him.
not condone violence, but let me tell you, that jail ain't gonna need no foundation because I will be holding that MF up.
My son,
if I saw that video and that was my son,
my son would have found him, probably would have tortured him a little bit, and then would have unalived him.
So it's like that was pure fledged murder.
Yeah.
To shoot him in his back, first of all, and then to unload your clip, second of all, and then you finalize it with 2 more shots after that. If it talking noise on
if it wouldn't have been my son, it would have been my daughter.
Yeah. So, with the family being wrong for gunning you down is the question. No.
I know how it would have went.
I don't condone violence.
My son would have took the last shot.
You cannot be mad if they come after you.
My daughter would have been the one who wanted to torture him. My son would have been the one.
It's like if you're. I always said this about cartels and people like that. You cannot be mad when you live your life going after and killing other people and their whole families, but you don't want yours to be touched.
Yes. Yep.
You cannot expect people not to retaliate against you and your BS if you're bestowing it on to them.
Yeah, because you deal with it's because when it's like when one of the cartels get taken out, they come after, they take your whole.
They don't even touch you. You the one that pissed them off. They go get your whole family
because they want you to suffer.
They don't even know what. Some of the family members don't even know what you do.
They want you to suffer.
Yeah. I don't condone violence, but I'm saying, let's be real. This is reality. You cannot be mad. Society cannot be mad and feel like an officer is unjustified if someone comes after them when they do what they do to people. Because that's the reality of what's about to start happening is officers' lives are finna be at risk. And it already started years ago, but it was happening to the innocent officers because of the bullshit of the bad officers.
No, it's not going to be the officers. What people are going to do is they're going to start sitting back and they're going to start watching. And they're going to start picking out their family members. That's what they're going to do like the cartel do. They're going to start picking out their family members because they're going to want the officers
you ever notice that the cops don't really go after the cartels? That's why they so big.
Yeah.
They don't mess with them. They mess with people that they know they can bully and intimidate.
They're not gonna mess with the officer because they want the officer to suffer. They're gonna start picking up their family members.
Like I said, if you can't handle yourself outside their uniform, stop doing the shit you do in their uniform. Because I'm gonna need for you to be able to handle yourself outside their uniform because these people are going to come after you.
People are gonna be heartless.
And I do not condone the violence. This is the truth and reality.
Especially if they're messing with their family members. You take out one of mine, I'm going to take out one of yours.
You are using that uniform to bully and intimidate. So I'm going to need for you to be ready for what's going to come for you when you do those type of actions to people. That gun does not mean that you can do, or that badge does not mean that you can do whatever you want to do to people. That is not why they put you in that position. And we're paying you. We're not paying you to treat us like this. We're not.
But I'm gonna tell you, me, you know how kids do, one for me or one for you, two for me. You take out one of mine, I'm taking out two of yours.
And everybody's like, oh, he's laughing in court. Hell yes. He's laughing in court. Because he know he has rattled you. As you should be rattled.
And for some people, that's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Some people have to laugh to keep from crying.
And
that's
so
me.
as a retaliation, you're giving him the death penalty by racking on other charges. That way he's eligible for the death penalty. At the end of the day, if that was Hinton's only child, he has nothing else to live for. You took that from him. And God is not enough for him right now. That's reality. God is not enough for him right now. So giving that man the death penalty, you are not hurting that young man by giving him the death penalty.
Especially if they had a really good relationship.
Yes. He is going to make himself right with the Lord. So whatever you do is not going to do anything. The justice to him has been served if he did this intentionally. And that is a if.
He probably did.
I'm saying if he did. I know if it was me, ... We're going to let that buffer like the internet.
Like on date night, Rainbow Wheel. Come on, Rainbow Wheel.
I mean, be glad it wasn't a son for a son.
No, really. Or a son for a daughter.
Yeah. He didn't go take your innocent one. You see what I'm saying? He went to the source. If you are the officer that did it, he went to the source. I'm not condoning, but I ain't objecting because I put myself in his shoes. And I ain't no telling what I would do. But I know I'll probably be the foundation of that jail. I'll be holding it up. And I wouldn't even fight the system. Give me what you got to give me.
Is that it? That's about.
You know, that's all I got. I mean, I don't have nothing else to say. I don't blame him. And this has nothing to do with him being black. He can be from Mars. And I don't blame him. You kill one of Mars kids down here and they drop the whole Mars on top of Earth. I don't blame you. So I'm just saying, eye for an eye. 2 for 2. Come for me and I'm coming for you.
That's it. That's all.
That's all I got to say. Now, if y'all just now jumping on this feed, Tyler PD, they done edited their footage. And the community want answers. I don't know if y'all want answers, but I do. Because I want to know why y'all edited it. If you felt like your actions were justified, why did you edit that? Because, I mean, the dumbest part is clearly you wasn't paying attention to the internet in the 2 videos that were already circulating.
Not one.
I understand why one footage ended, because the crazy part is after you subdued the woman, you're going to go after the woman that wasn't doing nothing to you. That's another lawsuit. You arrest her too, for what?
There are plenty of other things y'all can do with that money.
But the person that was filming from behind, why you stop filming? I want to see everything. I'm just saying I'm nosy. I want to see everything that happened that day. You know what I mean? But, hey, y'all, if y'all haven't done so already, y'all go ahead and take a moment out of y'all day and like, subscribe, and comment. Hey, I'm all ears. Or shall I say eyes, because I'm finna get off of here. But I will be watching my feed the rest of the day and figuring out what I got coming up to y'all on Freestyle Thursday.
Mm-hmm. And the police need to start policing the police.
Yeah. They need to start doing their job.
And that's not only here, that's everywhere.
He needs to be put on leave, not administrative. Because I don't understand that administrative leave. Why y'all pay people to sit at the house? I don't understand that. Oh, we're gonna put you on
He
administrative
doesn't need
leave.
to be put on leave. He needs to be fired.
Yeah, what you gonna put him on administrative leave for? You gonna pay him to sit at the house?
No, we're paying him to sit at the house.
And that don't make absolutely no sense to me.
I have to, whenever I'm on leave, I have to fight to be paid. Show documentation and all this other shit.
I mean, the standard procedure is to be put on leave pending investigation. Now, if it is said that your actions were warranted, then we will pay you. But other than that, I'm not paying you to sit at the house. You might as well should have just been placed at a desk and taken off the street. You get what I'm saying?
Get caught up on your paperwork.
If I'm on administrative leave you, then I'm gonna put you at the administrative desk.
Fudge some more documents.
Yeah. I want to know what that documentation said. That's what I want to know. Because if y'all edited that footage, then y'all edited that paperwork too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. My paperwork, they're going to be mad at me. My paperwork ain't never going to say what yours say. I'm just saying. It's probably going to be a best-selling book by the time I get done.
But you know, you're a good writer anyway. I hate writing.
I
give all my paperwork. I'd be like, hey, can you fill out that report for me? You know what to do.
Yeah, I'm right. I'll
just sign it. Make sure it's right, though. Ours can't match word for word.
But y'all, listen. Y'all come back. Thank y'all for whoever jumped on my feed. I appreciate y'all for coming. I really, really do. And come back on here for Freestyle Thursday, because hell, we probably gonna be talking about this same ish again.
Probably.
And I am ready to get back to my cards. Look.
She's trying to be a little freak.
I think, well, this one not the freaky cards, but I think somebody went through my cards and took some of my cards, because we ain't been through these cards. And I went through the cards for only 3 days. So that's only like 18 cards that I went through.
18 is a lot.
But we had a stack, I'm just saying. But I'm going to buy some more cards. So don't think once these cards are done, I've already made my mind up that I'm going to buy some more cards simply because I enjoyed them. Not these. I'm going to buy some more.
Wait, so you saying you enjoyed the other?
No.
I was
I'm talking about the conversation cards.
Okay, I was about to say now.
Because I'd be curious about what type of question do boring ass people when they on dates talk about?
I don't talk about that.
Exactly.
Like, okay, what kind of job do you do? How many kids do you have?
I just on my first date, on the first day, I just don't even be asking all this stuff. I just try to get to enjoy myself.
I was about to say,
because you might not even be a prospect for me, but I might want to just enjoy myself.
On the first date, we pretty much already know stuff about each other because we converse already.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
Now, if you're just somebody that I met at a nightclub and you ask me out, then okay, I understand having conversations, but like that. But because I haven't gotten a chance to really know you, but
I don't know if I'm gonna go out on a date with somebody I met at a nightclub. You just buy me some drinks and I'm taking my cup everywhere with me I go.
Well, of course I'm not gonna meet nobody in a nightclub because hell, I'm not gonna go to no nightclub. But I'm just saying,
because if I leave it once, it's one and done.
But y'all, we just rambling on. But y'all come back on Freestyle Thursday and definitely on Relationship Saturday.
What are we talking about?
What?
Saturday.
I don't know. If y'all got some requests, put them in now, because I want to know what y'all want to talk about for Relationship Saturday. Don't leave it up to me to come up with all these topics. What's wrong with y'all?
I come up with some.
You too. Don't leave it up to us. I'm just saying. Don't leave it up to Snack Cackle Talk.
All the time.
We want to know what you have on your mind
that you're scared to talk about.
Yeah. You can remain anonymous, okay? You can remain anonymous. Just message me and we'll converse.
What was it? Letters to Lacey?
Yeah, letters to Lacey.
Or memos to Monica.
I need to kind of put that in play.
Well, I guess I need to
set that up.
Nobody knows how to get in touch with me.
Listen, if y'all just message me and it's a memo, just say memo to Monica, and I'm gonna hand it to her and let her handle it, okay? But if it's a letter to me, go ahead and address it to Lacey, and I will read your anonymous letter, okay? We'll go that route. I would not even tell who you are, okay?
I won't either.
I know how to keep secrets for real.
I do too.
Now,
I have secrets from 1999.
like other than that, listen here. Other than that, I was trying to see if I had something else to talk about, but I don't. So, like I said, thank y'all for coming on the show. I appreciate y'all for listening and watching and supporting. I appreciate everything.
Me too. Girl, I looked in the mirror earlier. I had so many great eyebrows. It's ridiculous.
You gonna let them turn gray?
Hell no.
I don't have any yet, thank goodness. I got just only a couple of strings of gray, and they usually fall out on their own.
Well, you know, all of my gray right here used to be red. It was
okay.
like
I
red.
can see
I don't
that.
know. It just one day it was just gray.
Because even those that have that little gold right here on the edges of their hair turn gray first.
All of my gray strands were red.
I ain't got it yet. I got a couple of, and you can count them. A couple of strands, and you can barely see them. And they short.
Yep.
And half of them, they only still in my hair probably because of my locks, but they usually come out on their own. I don't even have to.
And where the red came from, I don't know. But they were
maybe
red.
you're Irish descent.
I don't know.
Maybe. Y'all, I'll see y'all later. Hey, y'all, let me know what y'all think on this topic. I really hate that happened to that young lady. Like I said, she's always been mannerable. She's always been kind, very respectful. And I hope she seeks legal counsel.
Me too.
I really do. Regardless of what her crime is, regardless of what she actually did, that does not matter.
And regardless of what she's done in the past,
yes, she did not deserve that punch. Okay. And hopefully her baby is safe. Other than that, bye.
Holla.
Bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now.